The CPM group, they said gold wasn't going to go up this year. Yeah, that's right. He's so brilliant. No Trilateral Commission, no Bilderberg. Hey, jerk. Even go on Wikipedia, look up the names that I was talking about. Draghi, the new head of the European Central Bank. Mario Three-Card Monti, the new head over there in Italy. Papademos, over there in Greece. All members of the Trilateral Commission. One Draghi is a chief cat with the Bilderberg. It's right there. This is a conspiracy. This is guys like him that are probably CIA agents that are trying to shut us up.
This is important. Here is CNN. More than $1.2 billion in customer funds might be missing from bankrupt broker MF Global. Now, this is going on 3 weeks now. Nearly twice previous estimates of the shortfall, the trustee administering the firm's bankruptcy said Monday, and that's who they're saying has the accounts. MF Global was forced to file for bankruptcy last month after it disclosed $6.3 billion in exposure to troubled sovereign debt from weak European countries, sparking panic among investors. So, of course, they have to spin Gerald and myself and others pointing this out as if somehow we're bad. It's true. All of these major bank heads, all of these finance ministers, all of these prime ministers, presidents, they're all financed or are actual Goldman Sachs operatives. Even Time Magazine last week said it's a global coup, a coup in Europe by Goldman Sachs, government by banksters, for banksters. But again, now here we are 3 weeks later, going back a week and a half ago, and we showed these on air, even Reuters and Forbes and others had CFTC acting ahead over this investigation because the head is invested in it, so had to say, I'm recused, saying this appears to be illegal and something's nefarious. But now the media just says, well, I guess it's more than $700 million. It's more than $1 billion. It's $1.2 billion. It's more than $1.2 billion. And they admit that it's destabilizing the whole market. You have over $1.2 billion or whatever it really is. They won't deliver people's money when we're talking about a $800 trillion group in the press release by the CME group that you just mentioned. Of course, they've got to turn it around and have Forbes come out and imply we're the bad guys. Folks, no one's bank account is safe. They've already stolen most of your pension funds. They've already invested those in derivatives. Your 401ks, it's all admitted. Your Social Security, it was spent decades ago. And here, everything is falling apart. We've been in a depression for years. They keep lying to us. But going back, Gerald, because I don't want to spend too much time on this guy, who is this person you're quoting that was making those asinine statements? Because over some years it's 60, some years it's over 70 of the 125 people, 130 or so that are at Bilderberg are Goldman Sachs. I mean, no one denies now, from the Financial Times of London to Time Magazine, that it's a global government of, for, and by the banksters. So I don't want to spend all day on this guy because he's not worth the time. Is this some analyst that attacked you? Who is this person?
This guy's the head of the CPM group. They're a trading group. What I'm trying to say, Alex, is they're going to start barraging us with negative news to try to discredit us. When in the meantime, Corzine, where's Corzine? Where is this guy? He's not even, look, where, as I said, when Dominique Strauss-Kahn was accused of allegedly false, having sex with a maid, boy, the press jumped on that one all over the place, gave him a perp walk.
That's how you know it was staged.
Yeah, now where is Corzine? How come he's not showing up? So the reason I'm bringing this up, and you mentioned about Forbes, try this one on, everybody. Go to Forbes, 2009. They made fun of me then. One of my assistants at the time cashed out her 401k and bought gold at $700 an ounce. They said she was overreacting. Gold is at $1,700 an ounce now. What an overreaction, and not even a retraction. They're going to do everything they can do now to try to discredit us because the whole system is going down, and they misquoted me in there.
By the way, it's not really a correction. You may not have read the Forbes article. He actually admits that you were right about that, and so they must be listening and said, well, it's a weird article. I mean, they're kind of framing us for any problems that may come, but then they also admit that you've been right and that I've been right. So you might want to go see that article. I know you've made a point out of that, but they say that she did it at 900 and that it basically doubled. But I remember it was 700, so it's more than doubled. Now,
but Alex, I want to follow up on this because it's very important. They misquoted me, and I'm saying this, and the reason I'm going so public with this is that the entire global financial system is melting down. What's the stocks doing over in Europe? What are they doing in the United States? They can't solve these problems. I said, if your money's with Schwab, if it's with Raymond James, I don't care who it's with, Smith Barney, if this thing collapses, you're going to get shafted. Oh, they're going to tell you that you have insurance, just like the CME said that ours was guaranteed. Yeah, it'll be guaranteed, and you know when you'll get it? I guarantee you'll get it after you're dead, because that's how long it's going to take. And if you get your money before then, it's going to be devalued into nothing.
And they're going to say it's your fault for being in a pension or a stock market, just like his sequestered account, segregated account under law that was his was taken. They're going to say it's your fault. When you complain, they're going to say you caused the market to fall. Now, Gerald, I want to get into where you're going with this, but I think now it's confirmed. As you said, as I said last week, this is way bigger than $700 million. It's way bigger than $1.2 billion. They're now admitting, and this is about physical delivery, as Max Keiser predicted. They could not deliver the gold to people that had won it in the open market, and so they simply defaulted, and instead of even paying you in cash, they just said, you know what, that's the way it is. And then now it's kind of creepy to have the biggest derivatives kingpins, I've forgotten who that guy is, actually attacking you, and to have Forbes coming after us. We must have really hit a nerve. How dare
we hit a nerve, Alex. The CME group, the group over there where that guy Duffy says that they guarantee everything, they've lost over $2.5 billion in equity share since this thing happens. I'd like to see it go down to zero. CME. Maybe it's the Chicago Mafia enterprise. Where is the money, Duffy, that you said you were going to guarantee? How come the prostitutes aren't calling them out on this? And I'll tell you why. Because maybe they don't have the money. And here's a scenario. I'm going to give you a scoop. We're saving this to the top trends of 2011, but I'm letting you know this because of all the listeners there that are faithful to your show and want to know what's going to happen before it happens. You go back, Alex, to when Obama was elected. I said, prepare for a bank holiday. What happened is I'm doing research in the Corzine thing. There it pops up with Joe Biden. You remember he was he was senator from that state of the loophole state over there in Delaware that gives all these corporations a free ride before he became vice president. He's out there campaigning for Corzine in his aborted effort to get reelected as governor. And Big Joe puts his arm around Corzine and he said, Biden said, you know, there was talk about a bank holiday when we came into office. They were discussing it. And we brought in Joe to advise us. I'm saying this because the entire system is collapsing. I believe they're going to keep propping it up until after Christmas so they can sucker everybody into spending money that they don't have and buying a lot of Christmas crap that they don't need. And after that scam is over, bam, it's going to come down because the entire global financial system is collapsing. And if anybody with anything between their heads think that Sarkozy, Merkel, Draghi, Papademos are going to solve this problem along with the super committee. I love it. The super committee, a house of fools, are going to solve this problem. You're going to get what you deserve.
All right, stay there, Gerald. Gerald will be right back. Incredible information. Gerald Celente, Aaron Dykes, Alex Jones, Jesse Ventura, Max Keiser. It's all coming up. Stay with us.
We all know that Berkey Water Pure.
Headline from the street: Super Committee failure won't hit U.S. rating agency. Won't lower rating again. Remember, you heard Geithner 6 months before they lowered it from AAA plus to AAA. He said there's no way that would happen. And, of course, it did happen. It just goes on and on. So this is becoming a huge issue. And imagine the magnitude of this, where you've got people's own private accounts and they just take them. And now we learn it's $1.2 billion. And remember, all these mega banks and brokerage firms have gotten tens of trillions of our taxpayer money, and now they want more. At 5 after, Jesse Ventura is joining us. We're about to go back to Gerald Celente and get any comments from Aaron Dykes, who's riding shotgun. But I just also want to point out that Gerald's right. It's time to support the alternative media, which is growing and being attacked, obviously. It's time to subscribe at trendsresearch.com. It's time to get all 18 of my films that are on DVD for $260 off or $99.95 at Infowars.com. We're on the front lines of the fight against tyranny, and we need your support. You know, get the Obama Deception on DVD. We sell it very inexpensively with expanded extras at Infowars.com, or you can see it and download it at Prisonplanet.tv. The system is scared of this information. We couldn't do it without you, the listeners, our AM and FM affiliates, and their local sponsors, and just all of you that support us, and, of course, our sponsors. So, again, we have it ends here in just a few days, 15-day free trial, prisonplanet.tv to also see the nightly news. We've got hosting the nightly news tonight, the health ranger, Mike Adams. He's going to be breaking down some incredible info on the super committee. Now is going to control legislation on the farm bill. Don't need bills that originate with individual House members. We have a 12-member committee with a 13th leader. Now, Gerald, this is a short segment, one more coming up. Looking at this, I mean, it's asinine, the mind job, the con job they do trying to spin it around against us. Obviously, that's not going to work. So, as you said, this is obviously much bigger than what they were first saying. Where does it go? How does he get away with this? You know, they're taking his name out of the news instead of just doing the rehabilitation job, because obviously that didn't work. But when all these heads of federal agencies that protected Madoff for 11 years are caught in bed with Corzine, I mean, I guess at a certain point it's just total criminal takeover. What do you do?
Well, again, what we're warning is the high probability that there's going to be some type of economic martial law. And just like I couldn't get my money, this has nothing to do with Corzine. He's just one of the Wall Street, the Goldman Sachs gang. And the Goldman Sachs gang, as I said on your show, you know, the Rothschilds would be envious to see how what the Goldman Sachs reach is. So what I'm saying is there's going to be some level of martial law. I'm not economic martial law. I'm not telling anybody what to do. I always make this clear. Think for yourself. But for me, I'm not having any money where anybody can get their hands on it. Gold, silver, dollars, I don't care what they are. And the other thing, too, Alex, all of those police out there that are beating up and pepper spraying the people, guess what, guys? Now hear this. You're going to lose your pensions. That's right. You know that retirement that you're looking for? You're not going to get it because the whole thing's going down. And it's not only MF Global. It was Lehman, Morgan Stanley, Merrill Lynch, you name it, one after another that needed to get bailed out or went under. And your money's going to go too. So you're beating up the wrong people. All you guys that are protecting the Wall Street mob, you should be protecting your family, your friends, and yourself. Because you're going to get it, boy. That baton you're beating people with, you better not bend over, because the white shoe boys are ready to stick it to you, cops. They're going to make mincemeat out of you.
We'll be right back. Stay there. Incredible information with Gerald Celente. Ventura coming up.